Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Ox, here on the show this evening. In this special show, Rangers new manager, Philippe, Clement. Join myself, as I said, Ox, here as the one and only South Side. And GB, evening, gents.
Evening, Ox. Good evening to GB, and good evening to everyone listening on our YouTube feed.
Bonjour, boys. How are we getting on?
I just want to, he's Flemish, if you're going to hear the voice, mate.
That's like the South American stuff. They still don't understand you, so I'll go with that. I'll go with the French Belgium.
Oh dear.
They speak about 3 languages there anyway, so they're
exactly.
Right.
Flemish is one of them, mate. Right. Anyway, Southside, on you go. Give us your thoughts.
Well, obviously it was touted that we thought we were going to get him between him and Muscat, and he's finally been unveiled, mate. I think we've got a manager who's won titles. I think a manager that's played the game, played international football. I think he's just under 40 caps for his country. Been part of a World Cup squad and a European champion squad. But first and foremost, that he's won titles in Belgium with 2 different clubs. He done 3 in a row. If you look at the way he done it, went to Monaco. I think he finished 3rd. They're not really expected to win Monaco, and they're going to be expected to win the league. They'll be PSG being there, mate, to be honest. But I am quite happy out the candidates that we've been told about that he's finally got the job box.
I would be lying, Southside, if I say I knew a lot about him before the selection process started. But only time will tell, and we'll get behind him. GB, name your French accents. I've had complaints already. Carry on.
No, that's my bit, mate.
I'm calling you Del Boy.
That's all right. That's a compliment for me. Please, Docs, I think he's the only candidate that ticked all the kind of boxes. He's came for 2 good leagues. He's won championships, and he knows a market that we've shopped in quite a lot, which is the Belgium league. So I'm hoping that again he's able to tap into that, Ox, and like I says, guide us with players that we can afford.
Mm-hmm. Aye. It's a big day for the club. 19th manager. Our history. I think 18 in the last 5 years. I might feels upset.
Aye, well, we're hoping we'll be here again the next 12 months. No, we hope we'll have got this one certainly correct. Ox, you know.
Aye. Well, I'm looking forward to it. He's got experience that the last manager never had. He's an international player with a decent country, you know. They've just get reasonable records in European competitions and World Cups as well. Belgium, 40 caps. He can play the game. Knows the game. So we just need a bit of luck and support the guy with his recruitment, and hopefully it's more successful going forward with the players that the management team collectively bring in, GB.
Yep, Box, I think it is time for time and patience with the guy. I think he's proven that with time...
We'll give him Saturday to sort it out, mate. He's getting a bit of time, you know what I mean?
Enough time to get Lammers and Dessers sorted out. Again, I think Ox, we've just got to trust his philosophy. If you look at his previous record and stuff like that, he has came into teams that are a wee bit disarray, and he's got them through that season, and then, like I say, he's been able to build from there. It's still kind of early for us, so I'm hoping that he's able to kind of galvanise the squad and still produce something this season, because we've still got a lot of games to play, and he seems like quite a driven manager as well, which is good. So I think this is something the squad needs, somebody that is a winner in there.
So, do you think, I'm not tight to this, I'm putting you on the spot a wee bit with this question. Do you think the previous manager had lost the dressing room?
I just think I think he'd certainly lost it, and I think probably his direction and the way he was trying to set out the team, he hadn't played the game at the highest level. he hadn't played international football and he'd only had a short time in management. He might have had some respect for some of the players that were there previous through his coaching ability, but players, we're getting a manager who's now won titles at 2 different clubs in Belgium. Okay, he's also played the game Oxen, he's played internationals, played at World Cup, so he will command respect for the players that's there, you know. And by all accounts, for the wee bits I've heard, he seemed quite good on the man management stuff with the players and his style. He tries to get everybody involved together, so that's something that we're hoping that we'll see. But the most important thing for us and him is results. It's about winning. But I am looking forward to seeing him, obviously, when he gets in, and after a few weeks we can see what he sort of tweaked and changed and to see how the players react.
Okay. Would you like to hear from Philippe, Clement?
Aye, maybe.
Aye.
Yep.
Aye. Right, if you don't mind, get yourselves on mute and we'll hear from your new manager, Philippe Clement.
Philippe, a very warm welcome to Rangers. How do you feel to be manager of this football club?
I'm very proud to be here. I'm really happy. We had some really good talks with a lot of people in the club this last week, with people from the board, with the investors, also with some old players. I had a talk with Thomas Buffel, for example. So I'm really happy to be here, and it was a sportive choice to come here for the project. I see the potential in the club, I see the passion of the fans, and those were the things that convinced me that this was the best choice.
Yeah, in those conversations, what was it about Rangers that made you feel it was a good fit for you too as a person?
First, you felt the honesty, you felt the passion of the people for the club. You felt also that for the moment the team needs some confidence, needs some new dynamic. And we talked about a lot of things that can be better, things that are good already. And I'm somebody who likes this passion, this fire, a full stadium. It's something I missed in my previous club that I had before in the other clubs. So I'm really excited to have this first game in Ajax.
There is, of course, an expectation to win here. Is that a pressure as well that excites you?
No, it's not a pressure. It's my life. Nobody can put more pressure on winning than myself. It's always been the case from when I was a small child. I want to win everything in everything I do. So that's the mentality I want to give my players also, and to convince them also about their own qualities, because I see there's more quality in this team than they're showing for the moment.
You have had success as a player and as a manager, of course. How can those experiences in the past help you moving forward here?
Of course, you can use it. I'm not going to talk all the time about the past and myself. That's not my style. But I know what it is and what you need to win. And it's important to have confidence. It's important to believe in yourself. But the most important is hard work. There are no easy things. Nobody wins in an easy way. It's a competitive sport. It's a sport where you need a lot of discipline. You need a lot of hard work daily. Football player it's a short period in your life to be a professional football player. So you need to take the best out of it. And if I look at the wall here and all the titles that the club has won in several competitions, those are the things I love, because I'm a winner and I want to win trophies. So I want to see ambitious players who want to give the best of themselves every day. And then we will work together with all the staff here to give all the tools for the players to get the best out of themselves.
Yeah, how do you go about that in these early stages, getting to know the players and get the best out of them?
Yeah, of course, I'm a football animal, so I watched all the games until now from this season, last couple of days. Been busy. I start to get to know now the staff. Of course, you need a period to get to know everybody. And then it's about aligning everybody together in one story and to be one strong family who wants to work hard to get great results.
And to have 4 competitions still this season, a lot to play for, it must be exciting to come in and have those challenges too.
Yeah, it's 4 chances to win things. But it's now important and really important that everybody's focused on the next game and not looking forward too far ahead. It's now building this story day by day, week by week, to make the team stronger and stronger, and to win at the end of the season trophies, and as much as possible. But it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So we need to, of course, implement day by day the way we want to play football, the way we want to work, to make players more fit, to get the injured players also back, because there were quite some injuries this season also. So a lot of things to do, but I'm looking forward to that.
In terms of the style of play you expect from your teams, what can the fans expect?
A playing style that's created about scoring goals, about being dominant, about winning also, not scoring goals and then giving away easy goals. So well structured, but with the ideas forwards to attack, to have also a lot of changing of positions with the players. But for that you need time, and in the beginning, in all my clubs, in the beginning you need some time because it's not natural to do this automatism. But in the moment it starts to work, then you get more fluent football and you get a lot of goals wherever you go. And here are the qualities also to do it with these players. Otherwise I would not have taken this job.
The first game on Saturdays, of course, at Ibrox. How much are you looking forward to that, and how special will that be to be in the dugout there for that first game?
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. It's an iconic stadium. Everybody knows it all over Europe, all over the world. I've seen also a lot of games in the past where the fans are really on top of the players and behind them, supporting them, giving so much energy. And I know from my playing days that these things can bring you to a higher level. And I hope to see that the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, that all the Ranger family, all the fans go really behind the players to push them to their best level. And that all together we can make a great history.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. I get your thoughts first, GB.
It speaks very well, Ox. A lot of positives to take out the interview. Like as the guy says, for a small child, that he was born to be a winner, doesn't like losing, wants the fans on board, and likes to score goals with his teams. So it's something we badly need. We need goals. Goals win games. So like I says, it's a positive appointment, Ox.
There was one thing stood out to me there, Southside. I don't know if you picked up on it when they said they met with the board of directors and the investors.
Aye, I heard them saying that. Obviously, the investors, they're going to be investing into the club, so they want to make sure that he's the right guy, innit? You know,
He want to make sure he's getting the support.
That also, that would also be the case, because let's not be giddy, they will want to sort of spend some amount of money at some point, whether it be January or definitely in the summer. But I think you might be looking to maybe purchase one or two in January, depending on how many he might want to move on with 6 months left of their contracts. But he spoke very well, Ox.
His English was better than GB's Flemish.
100%.
Joey Barton's French was better than his.
Oh, come on, that's below the belt.
So it was. But aye, he said a lot of.
It'll be JB.
But no, I liked what he said, and he knows what it is to be a football player and understands the game. He's doing management and he knows what it's going to take here. He looks like he's done his background on most of the club. I know he's been watching a lot of games back, because I heard them say that as well. So he's certainly cleaned himself up. I think he knows what he needs to do, mate, and hopefully the next few weeks we'll see the fruition of that starting to take place.
I told you, GB, it was partying, no Vegemite dinner. I told you.
I know. It's amazing what you pick up on after the appointment's been done. All the weeks and maybe wee biscuit bits. Aye, you're bang on the money, bud, and that says I think Ox, see overall, see with all the names that were linked, I know maybe some of them never even probably got near an interview or whatever, but like it's good that the board have took their time here because it is an important appointment, and I think for what I says the snippets that we've had, I think we've made a good appointment here. I think this guy's going to hopefully bring the club together again.
Aye, okay. Right, we better get these phone lines opened, yeah? See if all these people phone in that wanted a show tonight, GP. Every one of them.
Aye.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Seemed a very down to earth individual, if that makes sense. Southside, there was it was plain, honest, simple. That's what I want of a manager. He's the guy organised, he sets it out, selects, and then it's all about players. Yeah. So
aye. He said the way he spoke, it sounds like he knows how to organise it when he goes into a club, and he knows what to do. And he's had success up to this period of time. Like we said, in Monaco, you're not expecting Monaco to win the French league, are you really? But he's done well there. But no, he's here now and he's got the experience, like we said, and he sounds like he is a winner. I like that attitude that he's a winner. Just reminded me like Graham Souness and reminded me straight away of Stevie G. Just because they've all said it and they mentioned about the winning mentality and that. So it sounds like he's going to go and install that into these players that's there now. It's about him getting the best out of the players. But I think once he sets out a style and a system, we'll start to see how the players work. We know middle to front, we've got a large group of players, and we've had a few that have played in Belgium recently, which you'll know about Raskin and you should know about Matondo. So they might have a big part to play in his system and a style of play, but they'll at least probably know the manager as well. So, aye, mate, it's positive. We just need to let them get to meet the players and go on the pitch with the rest of the coaching staff and get to work.
GB.
Aye, just to touch on what Southside said there about previous players playing in the Belgium League, I think that's a great thing because, let's say, I think Raskin, I'm hoping the manager brings the best out of Raskin. There's so much potential with him. And like I says, the leagues that he has managed in, they're good leagues, Ox, to know. There is gems out there. And I'm not saying, obviously, we're going to be going out there and buying left, right and centre, but as the manager says, he'll be taking it game by game and we'll slowly start to see a progression. We'll slowly start to see his kind of philosophy and team come to Rangers and stuff like that. So, aye, I'm happy, Ox. I'm like you a wee bit though. If I never really heard of the guy before the name got kind of touted in the press and stuff like that. So I'll just have to kind of sit back and watch as well and see how his style of play plays out.
No, I mean, I'm very parochial in my football, if that makes any sense. So that's me. I know other people study things. I mean, I knew that Bruges had won the league a couple of times in that distance past, but I couldn't have told you who the manager was if I'm being honest, GB. You know.
Same, Ox. I didn't even know that he went for, like I says, Genk to Bruges and continued his winning streak. You know what I mean? And even moving to Monaco, it was never really highlighted in press, Sky Sports or anything. You'd think like something like that would get by.
In the British Sky Sports, or you're not going to get it in the Daily Record or the Scottish Sun, are you?
Aye, I know, but usually, like, see when, like, even the Premiership, when there's guys looking for jobs and stuff like that, his name's never been really up there, if you know what I mean. So he's, I think, again, it could be work out for our benefit, Ox. I think we might get hold of an absolute gem in a manager. And like you say, he seems down to earth. He's got good philosophy. And like I says, he wants to bring out the best in the squad. So like I says, hopefully it will. Hopefully we'll just see these things start to creep in the next couple of weeks, Ox.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realise to the day I checked outside that he played with Coventry.
I heard this when I was trying to research a wee bit on him myself, that he had went and played in England at one point in his career. I laughed and all when he mentioned about crowds and he mentioned Monaco. You know, they don't exactly fill their stadium out in Monaco, do they? It's the thing about him. He's got the experience of being over here, I suppose, but the fact that I thought he wants the passion ox, it feels like he wants something that ticks you, that you need to win every week. Phil Ibrox to get the crowd going, and he's hoping to implement his winning brand of football, and I think he knows that what he's got at Ibrox, and that's probably why he's turned down another job or maybe the Saudi interest that he had. I think he feels that there's going to be passion here, and he can get us really going. And I'm a wee bit excited about it now after listening to him. I wasn't that fussed about it because I was a bit unsure about a foreign manager again, if I'm honest.
So he's got battle fever on GB.
A wee bit, aye. Just after listening to him, I'm hoping that it's going to work out perfect and we'll just start to see the fruition straight away.
I like that. Big man's excited. Doesn't happen that often.
No one hear it, does they?
GB.
Just to touch on a point you said as well, we've got an experienced manager this time. This is a manager that's came in and has won titles, won cups, and like I says, he's managed top teams. I mean, so it's, like I says, it's no why these kind of novice appointments. Even Gio, to a certain extent, only had like one trophy, I think it was, 2 trophies possibly. So I think now we've got, like I says, a guy with proper experience, playing wise as well, really good experience, international. And like I says, I played in leagues that are competitive, Ox. I mean, you think about, like say, even the Belgian league, there's teams all round about, Genk and Bruges and all that, they can take points off each other. And if he can just instill that into our team and get a kind of winning philosophy, I'm sure he'll be able to take care of most of the teams in our league. And then it's just a big one, isn't it? It's just, like I say, focusing across the city, trying to get the better of them as well.
It's all about just winning football matches outside that. You know, you keep winning football matches, win the ones you should, and take it from there, and then it just grows and grows and grows. It's simple.
Aye, once you're on a run and you can, the players have got a system and a style and you're winning, it breeds confidence, and then you've got to add a bit of steel into that team where it's we win, and even if we go a goal behind, I mean, we've seen Rangers teams in the past have that ups where we go a goal behind but we still find a way to win, and that's how you win leagues. But it's about being consistent, and it's something that we're hoping that this squad, he'll start to get some of this squad playing. You heard him saying himself, he thinks there's players there and they just need to get a bit more out of them, and hopefully he'll do that in time. That we'll start to see the players that we're thinking, nah, you're not very good. But I'm hoping when they get some of the injured players back as well, it'll make a difference to our squad. I think, like I've said, middle to front, we're overloaded with players that should be able to go in and make a difference when they're off fit. It's just in the defensive side, we're stuck with the same sort of players that have been there for a stagnation of time. But hopefully over time that will change. But his job is just to get these players playing for him and cut out the mistakes at the back. And then if we can get on a winning run, that will get the confidence up, and then we'll see where it takes us.
I know we've lost goals, but I just think our biggest complaint, if you take all the thing, is my creativity, and the goals are scored, mate, that puts pressure on the defence. Take the Aberdeen game, we lost 3-1. I mean, we should have been, 2-0 up before they were up the park, south side. You know?
Aye, we should have. Aye.
You know, really 2-0 up. And even if you go 1-0 up, it changes the game, doesn't it?
Yep, it certainly would have that day. But we didn't take them, and then we're getting
it's
punished.
all buts and maybes. And I suppose everybody can say the same thing, can't they? But yeah, I just think that goal scoring's been my problem for a long time. I mean, when was the last time we had a striker who was going to score? You know, if he gets a run, he could score 35 goals this season. I
actually thought Kolak, when we first signed him,
we started
was the guy who would have got us the 20 goal a season easy. I think if he hadn't got injured, he would have.
Aye. We've been joined by Mr. Bridge. Evening, Bridge.
Oh, good evening, gentlemen. Very happy, Bridgeman, tonight. Very happy. Oh, good news, really good news, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, listen to the early part of the show when you were talking about his wee interview and that. Quite good, came across very well. I think he's going to be the man. I think he's going to do the business for us.
Well, I hope so, Bridge. I mean, you need a bit of luck in the big games. You need a bit of rub of the blue, you know.
Yeah, he needs. He'll need luck for the very start, won't he? Because it's the very first game we're going to play. It's that. It's Hibs at the Ibrox, isn't it? So that's going to be a real tough game for us because they seem to be doing not too bad. And every team in Scotland thinks we're just rubbish and we're easy for taking. So I think we need to prove them wrong, at Ibrox particularly.
Aye, so it's about the start of a new era on Saturday. Are you now looking forward to it more Southside? Yeah?
Aye, I'm looking forward to it, Ox. Obviously unveiling the new manager and just seeing what players show the reaction straight away. I think he'll probably come in and talk to them a lot. They'll do some amount of training, but I think they'll not change too much for what we've been doing. But interesting over time, because the games are going to come thick and fast, Ox, so he'll tweak it probably as he goes along, as he sees fit. But it'll be interesting to see if he's going to play with two fullbacks pushed up the way we've been playing and putting the high balls into the box, or whether we're going to try and play a wee bit of football through the midfield and maybe out to a winger if we're got any fit.
High balls in for the strikers we've got doesn't make sense, does it?
No, and that's the way it's been since the start of the season, as we said on here a few weeks ago and just the other week. It's no good. We need to try and play through the lines and try and put players through. Now and again you might need to go wide, but I'm hoping that the football will change, and if we're not maybe flinging our fullbacks up so much, then they might be able to defend better.
I've said this before, Southside, and I'll take this to you first, NGV, then the Bridge. If you do the same thing in the football part and you're constantly doing it, and people are watching you, because everybody watches everybody now because all the footage is there. If you move it to the right and he crosses it in, teams set up to stop you, and it's easy. You've got to do different things on the park.
If you've got,
you're just playing against. You're not playing against the cones.
You need your midfielders and not to be running past your striker and running into the box. Arfield just to make the runs into the box for midfield. And we need to. I'm hoping we'll play in like wee triangles and we'll see quick passing football. And you'll play against back defences. We know we're going to do it, but you know what? If you keep moving the ball quick and you keep making the runs in the space, and that's what will get your reward eventually. If you keep peppering the goal, eventually you'll get there. And once you get one, you'll get two. And once we score two at Ibrox against these teams, it's a matter of after that it should be how many, because that just disheartens them. But when you're only one up and they're still in the game for long periods of time, that gives them the heart to keep going and hope they'll get something off a set piece or a corner. But we need to be at Ibrox. We need to be ruthless like we should be all the time. And you've got to go two up early. And that just kills their wasting time and all that. The goalkeeper taking ages for by kicks and that. That's what it does. So I'm hoping that we'll be on the front foot on his team going forward in the weeks ahead, mate.
We've not got to be quicker, but it takes us about 5 minutes to take a corner.
Aye, well, we need to get away from Tav. I'm hoping when he comes in, he's looked at everything, and we don't need a right back taking corners. He can take the odd one now and again. I get it if you want to, but he doesn't have to be taking them all. And the same with free kicks. He's got no bad reward for free kicks, but we've got other players in that team which will be able to take a free kick as well. So I think we need to get away from that and all, that he's the guy that does everything, throw-ins and free kicks, mate.
GB.
Aye, Ox, I mean, for what I've been hearing and reading and stuff like that, he's a manager that is quite adaptable to his tactics. He's not really got a set play. He analyses each game and sets it up to suit. So I think we're going to have an adaptable manager this time. Somebody that will see things that need changed in the game and stuff like that. So especially in the Scottish League, where the teams we're up against, like I says, that you've touched on there, if we're going down the right all the time, then like I says, the opposition will look to nullify that. So tactic-wise, I've not got any real concerns because he seems to be quite switched on with that. And for the games I've watched, the highlights, like say Genk in the past that he's managed in Club Brugge, he loves to flood the box. See when they go in an attack, it's always like 4, maybe 1 standing just outside the box, making that 5. I mean, so he does like to attack well when they're in possession. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping to see that in our team, maybe no right away, but like I says, he's obviously hinted that he's going to try and build that in week after week, try and implement his ideas and stuff like that. So I think we've got that kind of thing to look forward to, where we'll all see when we attack that we'll attack numbers.
Bridgman.
Yeah, I agree with that. All the points that you've come up with there are all absolutely spot on. You know, people see us, and the areas that you touched on just a wee bit earlier, you've got to be faster. You've got to build in fast moving passes and things like that. I mean, sometimes when we do that, we get a bit of pace in our game, tempo, and we can play these passes. Sometimes we're not just good enough with the passes all the time, but we can actually do it, and we can overrun teams dead easy if we put our mind to it. Because we have got players that can do that, as long as they don't lose the ball at the end of it, you know. So I think it's there, and that manager will be able to pick it all out of us.
All right, we've been joined by James from Paisley. Evening, James.
Hi guys.
How are we doing,
Nice
Jim?
to speak to you again. Brand new. Listen, but actually, I phoned in looking for some inspiration for you guys this evening. I'm just wondering where the new manager is going to get this inspiration from. For the garbage that's lying about dressing rooms, and you know, we've got nothing there. The previous management, we don't have any forwards, as far as I can see. We've not got a centre forward. We've not got a goal scorer. I just wonder what's he going to do? Is he going to start bringing boys in, which I would love to see? You know, some of the boys we've got there, we don't even know what they're like yet. We brought on a couple of boys the last few weeks there, which they looked decent to me. I was just wondering, what do you think?
I think when I heard the interview, I think the fact that he met with the investors, Jim suggested to me that he thinks there needs to be a bit of surgery. I think boys might get a chance, but not them all. Some might, and then they get in a position, they keep the shot, they get in the first team squad, and it's up to them to take it from there. There's going to have to be people leave the club, and I think we've all got the names and we've all got lists, and they'll all be pretty similar. So I think there'll be movement in January. I don't think drastic, but I think they'll know who's leaving. Some people, if we get any money for them, will take it, and others they'll sign for other clubs and leave our club. And some of them will thank, and some of them will just wish them the best, and again we'll move on. I think there's about 7 out of contracts outside in January, and at the moment you wouldn't get any of them contracts, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
Sorry,
Jim.
Next summer.
No, you wouldn't be giving them contracts. That's probably how he'll assess it. He's probably going to be... They'll be advised as well, obviously. They're probably going to say, and you'll look at the players, but you wouldn't think any of the players that have got a year left in their contracts will get a new one. So that'll free up money for them. And if we can, maybe some might get tempted to go in January, then so be it, Jim. We might be able to probably maybe bring a couple of players in. I think middle to front, Jim, when they're all fit and they can get them back. I think Kieran Dowell would make a difference. I think Cantwell back fit would make a difference. I think Raskin playing in a system and a style and getting told where he should be most of the time, because we're all over the place, Jim, under Beale. So we're judging the players, but I think they were confused with the style that they're meant to go out and play, because watching it week in, week out, if you can't work out a style of play, Jim, and you're sitting in the stand watching it, what chance have the players got implementing it? You know? Yep. So I think Seema can be improved on. I think he could maybe come to the fore. I think Danilo back fit might start to score, getting regular game time. He sounds like he's going to have his creating chances, as he says, and attacking. So that's what we're looking to do. And if we can do that, Matondo maybe gets a chance on the left. He started all right. He might figure in his type of team. You need a pacey player on the wing at some point in your team. Seamer could be fast through the middle. So he might set up the teams with players that might not have been totally regulars under Michael Beale, and one or two might have been out the door. But he'll put them into the team that he sees fit and the style that he wants to play, Jim. And hopefully then we'll see players score goals, because if you don't score goals, we can't win games. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do with the squad. You will get a tune at them. Some will improve and they'll step up. It happens. Happened when Michael Beale took over for Giovanni. So it will happen the new to Christmas under these players.
JB, were you waiting to January now before we get a team together? You
can't bring any new players to January, Jim. That's why.
Aye. I know. Listen, I know that. I'm just. What's he going to do? Is shopping, right? What is he going to do? Is shopping. We've been all over the world buying absolute garbage, right? Let's be honest with this. If we had a player since Michael Beale was there, it's really stuck out in us. There's not one of the players that he's brought in that's been exciting to me, right? So why doesn't he? Maybe I don't want to tell a guy how to do his job. I wish I could tell him how to do his job. Why do he just shop in the Scottish Premiership? Because this is these. Why do we do our shopping there? No, cherry pick the best players in Scotland. This is where we win the league. We're talking about Europe and other places and South America and God knows if we ever go to buy these crap. Right, so
there's only one person I can take. There's only one person I can take that question to. Bridgeman.
Hello, Jim. How you doing? Long time no hear, pal.
Love to hear you. Love to hear your voice again, Bridgeman.
Just to say, I'm the total opposite to yourself. My opinion is that we don't bother shopping in Scotland. That's my honest opinion. We've ended up with quite a good manager at the moment. I'd rather have him than McInnes and any others that are there. I'm sorry to say, I'm no keen on Scotland or anything that Scotland provides. It used to be a massive shopping place for Rangers. Great players, you know. I mean, just as a Colin Steen and so on, so Jim Baxter, Tom Cooper, and they were all there. So I think we've started to move away, maybe through necessity, because they get nothing from the Scottish other Scottish clubs. They all hate us, so I don't want to do business with people that hate me.
Yeah, Bridgeman. I say one thing, no, I'm not going to. There's a few things I'd like to say. I love you dearly, Bridgeman. You're always my favourite pundit. See the players we should have bought, which we did not buy. They're all Scottish Rangers. They're playing that Scotland team the other night, which we thought we could have bought. I thought we should have bought, which you did not buy, and they're all playing the Scotland the international team the other night.
Yeah, I don't doubt it for a minute. I don't wish anybody bad about it. Only every Scottish team, I just don't like them, and I think it's been there since we hit our troubles. There's not one single team backed us in anything, and that's the truth. So that's God knows what, 12 years now, 13 years. It's just been one grind after another one. No for me. That's not to stop you buying, Jim. You can go and buy them if you wish. It's no for me, you know.
GB.
Jim, I think we could do a bit of both, to be honest, mate. I think the new manager coming in, I've already said that he's managed in Belgium, he's managed in the French league now. There's gems in the leagues that you can shop in and hopefully pick up that's within our budget, and it's the same with the Scottish league. I think we've probably missed out on players in the past, like say young Ferguson and possibly the one that Southside likes.
Nisbet.
His name's Nisbet. Aye. So I think we should certainly be looking to shop in both markets, mate.
I'm in your camp, Jim. I think we should look, because all right, you might have to pay a bit more than we would have to go for them, but you can still get value for money. You'll be looking when players' contracts are up. You don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Yeah, it's simple for me. Southside.
I agree, Jim. It's a bit of snobbery or whatever sometimes with people, but if you've got a boy, like I thought Nisbet when I came into Rangers, great chances, I thought he would score goals. In Scotland, and it could be enough, he should be guaranteed to score you 20 goals a season. Shanklin could have done it if he'd went from earlier and all. He probably scored you 20 goals. Lewis Ferguson was up for grabs. The boy Doig was up for grabs. The boy Hickey was at Hearts. We've done it in the past where we signed players for teams. We signed Whittaker, we signed Thompson. We went and get Big Dunk when he was at Dundee United. We signed Novo, Marvin Andrews. No, we've done it with a host of players that have done as a turn, Neil McCann. But they will inflate the price slightly. But if you're going to go out and we're maybe paying something like £4 million for Dessers, and at the moment everybody's saying he's got to go, then you might have got Nisbet for £1.5 to £2 million, a guy that can score in Scotland, and he should be able to hit the ground running as soon as he comes into the team.
Nobody on the same wages neither, Southside.
And nobody on that chunky wage that he's probably getting. So there is players, Jim, and we probably should have focused on that, because at the end of the day we need to get back to winning in Scotland all the time. That's the most important thing, you know. So if some of these players, or one or two of the players, would have made us, and he's a guy that comes in and scores 20 goals a season plus in a Rangers jersey, Chris Boyd came in and done it, you know. So if you create the chances, what you should be doing at Glasgow Rangers, then the person that's in the number 9 jersey hopefully fulfills it and scores you plenty of goals.
We've got a £6 million player that can't get a game for us. That doesn't make sense to me. You know, we can probably get a better player that plays in the Championship, or the first, second, whatever what division they call it, that scores goals. That's all we're looking for. Somebody that can put the ball in the net. And there's a few about.
Talking about people who can put the ball in the net, Hadji's just scored a cracker for Romania. We've just been sent it. An absolute cracker. What do I know? I'm in your camp, Jim. I think you've just got to be smart. And I get Bridges' point that you don't want to give them money. And if you enter a bidding war, there's a time where you say no, you know. But you don't cut off your nose to spite their face, especially GB if you can get them at the end of their contract and you get them early. What we've done with Suter.
That's what I was just about to say, Ox. I mean, there's Suter. We got a hold of him, and he's been a very steady player for us. I've got no qualms about him playing in our league at all. You know what I mean? The flip side to that is you could end up with a Scott Wright. You know what I mean? A boy that just can't fulfil his potential. And I really hope that he's one of the players that they get moved on. No offence to the boy, but again, this is where we're no cost ourselves loads of money. Whereas if you date with like the Dessers, we've cost ourselves a lot of money with that type of player. So there's a lot less risk, Ox, in our league. I think if you're going down the route of just waiting till their contracts are nearly up.
For me, he's signed the new managers to sign the best players that he can, what he thinks is right. Obviously, economics come into play as well, Southside. Yeah.
Aye. He'll probably have an idea of who he'd want to bring to the club as well. You will. Some managers do bring players with them that they've worked with in the past if they're available or whatever. But it'll come down to a budget. And you mentioned Scott Wright, GB. You would expect him to be one of the players that will go out the door. But here, he might be one of the players that it might work in a system that he thinks if he needs somebody to do a specific job, and he could transform him round. We thought Matondo was going out the door, and suddenly he comes back this season and Bill says he come back looking hungry and he's come in and made a difference. But I don't think he will be there. But there's players out there that say be Lammers or anybody else that MD cares to name. He might get a tune out of these players and they might turn them into, they might have potential, and he's the guy that's going to unlock it in a system that the team know that they're playing and what he wants them to do within that system. So I'm hoping that with Tom Lawrence coming back as well, supposed to be when he's fit, and seeing Cantwell, and I'll fling Lammers in there because he's got technical ability, and hopefully he'll get a tune out of Raskin, and if Kieran Dell can find a place in that team, I think we've got enough going forward to cause teams problems, especially in Scotland, and it's just about fitting it within that system. So I'm hoping that he's a guy that's going to have the magic this time to make that jigsaw that Michael Beale had, that he couldn't piece together with some of these players, and hopefully new ones in the future.
And you were showing this show on a Sunday, GB. He's been at the glue again. Carry on. Yeah, be interesting. It's going to be interesting because usually when a new manager comes in, there's a reaction, yeah, and it'll be interesting to see who plays better, who disappears, which players you just never see again, yeah.
There's loads there. Oh, there's loads of players. Listen, there's loads of players in there that the previous management have brought in there. I would cross the road to watch them in another game. Listen, we've had players in there. We always think because they sound good. Michael Beale, I don't want to mention his name. I'm sorry he left the place, but it looked as though he was a good manager at the time. I think we're all excited when he came here because his previous experience with another person. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. But he brought a lot of garbage in. He spent a lot of money, and some of the stuff he brought in there was, I don't think, honestly, I know some of the guys were talking about but the certain players that we brought in here. I don't see it. I don't see anything they're doing. That's the one the boys are mentioning, Lammers. I don't see that. That wouldn't get a game in the first division in England. I don't see what he does. He looks good. He's got a good name. Where he comes from. He's whatever he's done in the past. But we need better players than that. And I just want this guy comes from Belgium. Belgium's a great good football team. I just hope he doesn't I hope he doesn't go around about Europe looking for the players that he thinks is nice. As I said to you earlier on, Oxford, look at the Scottish Premiership. We've got good players in the Scottish Premiership, Oxford. They can find the Rangers team. Everybody wants to play for Rangers in Scotland. Let's be honest about
that. I don't disagree, Jim. I don't disagree with. We can't cut off our nose to spite our face, but we'll see what happens. It's a night not about players. It's a night about the new manager, Southside, and it's also a night for the fans to get behind the new manager as we build up to the first game on Saturday.
Aye, 100%. I think we've got to, and I think the vast majority, I don't think there'll really be anybody. There'll obviously be some other people who might have fancied Muscat or some other name out there, but we've got the new manager in place now, and he'll get backed by myself anyway, and I think everybody else in the panel would all say we're going to support him straight away. I don't think anybody's getting any negativity towards it, whereas we did have with Michael Beale and some with Giovanni, even when he got named as manager. So I'm happy with the appointment. He's got a track record of success. He's won trophies. He knows what it is to win a league. So I'm hopeful that he'll bring a lot of that success now to Glasgow Rangers. We need a bit of stability going forward, and hopefully he'll be the guy that will do that, and then we'll maybe get the other bricks in place with a director of football or a sporting director, because we need to start to build the foundation round about the playing side and round about the structure. And I think the board's actively looking for somebody in that. But first and foremost, I'm delighted that we've got Philippe Clement, and I wish him all the best, mate.
I'm sure that would have been spoke about with the manager as well, Southside.
Aye, I would think so. Probably they have told him that they're maybe actively looking for somebody or anything like that. So I think there's something happening in the background, and maybe that will get spoke about when he has a press conference on Tuesday. But it's another foundation that has to get probably fitted into that piece of the jigsaw, mate, to get a bit of stability in there. So I think that's something that the club will do going forward.
TB.
I think that what will help with the manager, Ox, is that if he gets well, he's already named he's number 2, but that third person in his coaching team would be good.
You're going to tell us who's number 2 is, then?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. It's Stefan van der Heijden. I think that's how you say it. Stefan van der Heijden. If you say it nice and fast, it sounds good. So Stefan's in beside him, and I'm hoping it's a Scottish contingent, ex-Rangers or something like that, that's in there as a number 3 Ox, because as we've touched on with markets and stuff like that, the best insight is somebody that kind of knows the Scottish game to help the manager in that kind of area, to point out a player that maybe he's not getting kind of mentioned in the scouting systems and stuff like that. So for the manager himself, he's, as much as he's had competitive experience in hard leagues, Scottish League is a funny league, Ox, isn't it? I mean, there's not many teams that they go up against that are sitting with 10 men behind the ball. So that will be maybe intriguing to the manager come Saturday, that if he sees Hibs sit back on him.
Aye, the manager, Maybe he should have been Stefan van Drumchap or something like that, yeah?
Stefano.
I think it'll be it's a positive news. No surprise when it happened. Southside, though, this weekend, players back, everybody back tomorrow. He'll speak to the players, they'll train, and then he'll get down to work on Tuesday.
I think the board had enough time, and obviously we did say on here that we wanted to give him a bit of time as long as he got it right. But with a week to go and a European game coming after that, Ox, it was important that we got him in place and they made the decision. So, like you say, it'll give him time to meet the players tomorrow, and then he'll probably work with them Tuesday onwards. And then we'll see who else is going to be part of the backroom team. He said they will be meeting them with the backroom team. So, I bet that's with Alex Ray and Stephen Davis, I would imagine, would probably be there. But we'll see come Tuesday. But it's time to get to work, and he'll probably be tapping into their information as well as what he's watched on videos, as he says, to lean on them and get a bit of information about the players for them as well.
You back with us, Bridge?
Yes, I am, pal. Is that Sir Stephen Davis out of the question altogether now for him?
Oh, I think obviously Stephen's still employed with us for.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. I don't know. It'll be the manager's decision. I think it's right. But you never know. Stranger things have happened, Bridge.
Yeah, because obviously Rangers need him a big thank you to Davis and Alex Ray for helping out there. But obviously get some money out of it anyway. But is it 6 he's bringing in, the new manager? 6 staff?
We've not been told yet, mate. We don't know.
All right, okay.
We don't know about his number 2, but the rest they follow, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they've usually got their own fitness people. Yes, Jim.
If you don't mind me saying to the guys and the followers of the show, it's becoming a bit of a soap opera, this, is it? No, the last couple of years, the Rangers Football Club, Nedvin Drive. I think it's. I don't want to say we're a laughing stock, but it's going to be a bit ridiculous now. We don't know what we're doing. We're bringing new managers in, one left and right, and we're on this show and we're talking about. It really disgusts me sometimes. Sometimes I don't listen to the show because it's just me, because I'm a big Rangers fan and I hate listening to people flagging Rangers and sometimes we're on here. By the way, I'm the biggest public slagger of Rangers. Unfortunately for me, we've got a big family thing at Rangers Football Club, and it just annoys me sometimes. If you don't mind, listen, I don't listen. People probably say to themselves, "What's that prick talking about all night?"
Right, Jim, we've got more people lining up, mate. It's good to speak to you as always, mate, and we'll discuss that take it around the panel. But great to hear from you as always, mate. Yeah.
Thanks for taking my call, also.
Yeah, we'll speak to you soon, mate. Yeah. I get his point. I get his points outside that, you know, the managers we're going through in the last couple of years, yeah.
Aye. Listen, that we didn't after we made the appointment at Giovanni. The board obviously made the decision, and they thought he would be the guy that would bring us success. And now he got us in a European run, but there's no point in being second when you get there, Ox, to be honest, you know. And it didn't work out. And I think probably the decision on Michael Beale was maybe a lazier decision, I think, than it was about Giovanni. I think a lot of the support were quite happy when Giovanni got the job, but I think in the Michael Beale one, I think it was more lazy appointment for the board, and it went spectacularly wrong for us. They probably looked at him as an up-and-coming coach and hoped that he could bridge it into management. I think if Michael Beale was going to get the Rangers job, he should have waited to see how he'd done at QPR and went somewhere else. And then maybe in time, if he'd been pretty successful at that, they might have looked at him. But they took the chance, Ox, and it didn't work. And unfortunately, we gave him quite a bit of cash at the time as well to spend on players. So, we're hoping this time they've got it right. Some of the board members have left that were responsible for some of the decisions. And it's done to Bisgrove and Bennett, who have came to the fore to say that they've done the interviews along with others. So, and the rest of the board have backed it. So, mate, we're hoping this time they get it right.
You're here. GB, so Popperoid's got a point, mate. My husband at times.
Aye, Ox, and I think the previous managers have probably like jumped at the job, and I'm not saying our current manager hasn't, but for what his interviews are saying, that he's clearly spoke to a lot of people in at Ibrox about the position and stuff like that. And I would imagine, Ox, considering what his career's looked like, he'll be looking for reassurances as well, that he's not got to come into a club and like I say, he's not given the time to build a team, to put his stamp on Rangers. I mean, I think he's been quite probably upfront with him, saying that I'll come, but I want reassurances, i.e. that you've touched on, speaking to investors, and probably other one, lengthy contract, that he's there's been assurances that it's not going to be, I don't know, 10 months down the line that he's looking to get sacked. I mean, I think he'll be looking for a bit of batting, a bit of support to say, right, we're going to give you a bit of time to build a team that's going to be challenging for silverware.
Results, mate. Just results.
Aye, results. And I would imagine, like any contract, there'll be things built in that the board will have put in place to protect themselves. But I think certainly, like I says, where he's at in his career, he'll certainly be wanting, like I says, the backing, so that he can go out and produce what he's produced before, Ox, with winning titles.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, get yourself in mute, because we're going to have a tune.
We are the Rangers FC. We are the people you better believe. We are together, we're doing the fancy all over the world. We had our troubles, but now they are gone. We tried to kill us, but the bells we stood strong. We are together, doing the fancy all over the world. Lucia by Bronx, for Lancer and Free. Follow, follow, and God save the Queen. We'll hear us singing, doing the fancy all over the world. In Barcelona in 72, we beat the Russians, but Eagles did too. Still celebrating, doing the fancy all over the world. Glasgow Rangers, back where we belong. Blue sea of Ibrox, and we're still going strong. We wear our colours, the red, white and blue. We wear them proudly like blue noses do. We are together doing the fancy all over the world. The pride of Scotland, but that's nothing new. The pride of Glasgow, and Glasgow is blue. We are together doing the fancy all over the world. To be a Blue Nose, it fills us with pride. We are united, we'll never divide. We are together doing the fancy all over the world. Doing the fancy all over the world. Doing the fancy all over the world.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, how do you think the appointment was done with the support, GB?
I think, Ox, from what I've kind of seen on socials, I think it's quite a positive response. I think they're happy, Ox, that it's an experienced manager with titles behind them, with silverware behind them. I think that's what's kind of kept the support kind of optimistic. That's what I would probably say.
Southside.
I think he's got more experience than the last three managers, Ox, and he's went on and had the success in Belgium. So I'm happy that he's got the job. I don't know how many other people he spoke to. They haven't really said, and we didn't really get many reports that they spoke to many others. They have said they spoke to a few. So they think he's the best man for the job, Ox, and he's a manager. He's not an up-and-coming manager. I wouldn't think he's well, to a point he's probably up-and-coming, but he's had the relative success early. And by all accounts, I'm looking forward to him at our club, and I think he's got a winning mentality, and I think he's going to be a good man managed to the players, mate. And I think if you show that and they respond to it, I think it'll be positive for our club.
Does it matter now who else we interviewed or who was in the short list? Does it matter now, does it?
Doesn't matter now, no. We might have even asked one or two, probably maybe said no, even to, so no, it'll no matter. He's the man that got the job, and we've got to back him 100%, mate, going forward. There might be a hiccup here or there with this squad of players going forward, but the main thing is he'll probably get us to this cup final and win it, and that will start the success for him, the club, and for us.
You hope the similarities to Alex McLeish then?
Well, that would be a good start from winter, aye, straight away.
Two cups. Yeah, all right, okay. Bridgeman, you back with us? No. I'm thinking the support will be quietly happy, GB. Quietly happy, yeah. It's not a Stevie G or a soonest moment, you know, but it's still positive that we've went and got somebody with a proven track record.
Aye, Ox, I think that's the thing. We've been crying out for somebody to come in with experience. Relatively, he's young in his managerial career, but he's shown that he can go out and obviously win trophies and stuff like that, and build teams that are a wee bit in disarray. Ox, I mean, I did have a read about that he's took teams on that they were like lying kind of mid-table, and he's been able to, like I says, galvanise them and push to close to winning the titles and stuff like that. So I think, like I says, he's going to come in and he's going to work with what he's got. But certainly, I think a year down the line we will see a total different team and a total different philosophy at our club, and it's probably one that's going to suit, like I says, future appointments, in the sense of what I mean with that is directors of football, how the academies run, stuff like that, scouting system. I think it's all going to kind of suit the kind of the European way. I mean, because they all they've got experience in dealing with directors of football, and they seem to do well with what I says academies and transfers of players and stuff like that. And I think it is a thing that the clubs try to tap into, and that's another reason why, like I says, the managers are a good appointment, because he ticks so many boxes, Ox, that we need. We need somebody that's got a good understanding of different leagues. He's got Champions League experience. He's got Europa League experience. He's got experience of winning trophies. He knows how to build teams, etc., etc. So I says he's an all-round good appointment, Ox, and somebody, like I says, we can have a bit of hope behind.
Aye, I agree, mate. I see a bit of vision. Listen, I get the Michael Beale thing. That's gone now. It wouldn't be somebody I would have appointed. I think the people, when we talk half air, know that. But I could see why what we tried today, it didn't work. I would argue Southside it worked up to the summer. Then the wheels come off spectacular, you know.
Aye, yeah. Well, we've seen an instant reaction when he came in. When we went about eight games away from him that we could hardly string together to winning them all. You've seen a reaction for the players, but whatever happened in the summer when we come back and the new players came in, it was just a totally different. I mean, we weren't even playing anything like we had started off, and he had injuries. Let's not be kidded. We took some amount of injuries again for certain players at certain times, but it's still no excuse to the fact that we couldn't see a set style or a pattern of play. So for me, Ox, it was just he brought players in, but he just couldn't find out how to get the best out of them and then put them into a system. We couldn't even create chances. We watched it, like we said earlier, down the flanks, cross the ball into a striker that we've not got a good striker in there that could header a ball. So what's the point in that? You know, so I'm looking forward to this manager hopefully playing a style of football, mate, that we'll see passing and movement and a wee bit of free-flowing football at times. And that's what will be totally different from what we've been watching under the last manager.
Bridgeman, you speak to some of the support, your relations in that. What are they saying quite quickly? You're on mute, mate.
Sorry about that. No, they're over the moon. Like myself, they're over the moon. I was talking to my cousin today, and it's just we're going Saturday to watch them against the Hibs, and we'll see what happens then. But they think it's going to be a massive difference. There was a couple of them I spoke to a couple of days ago, and I speak to my brother this morning, and they're of the impression that this guy is going to go and look at these players over the week. You know, I think there's no playing tomorrow, but I'm not involved tomorrow training, but it'll be the day after. He'll be looking at these players that we've got to see if we can pick it. And I think he knows a couple of them anyway through the Belgian side of things. So I think it's there. I think he'll be doing some checks on them and asking them questions, straight questions. You know, man to man here, what's going on, you know, and so on and so forth. Because he'll see our videos, you know.
He says he's watched all the games this season.
Yeah.
There's some people maybe get moved to the reserve dressing room outside there.
Maybe not getting us. Don't come back tomorrow. Don't come back tomorrow.
He's obviously... Listen, he just didn't know he was getting the job, you know, the day. They obviously knew a day or two ago it was probably more or less signed and sealed. When it ought to be all accounts, Oxy would have known. But yeah, he's been doing his homework, as he said, and checking out the way we've been playing in the game. So
that must have been a tough watch, yeah?
Aye, certainly seen a few horrors anyway into it at times.
Right, we're going to hear from Thomas Buffel, who's got our club. British finished back about there. Right, let's hear from Thomas Buffel.
He did well with other clubs in Genk and in Bruges and recently in Monaco. So I think, he can be successful for Rangers.
He'll meet the players for the first time tomorrow, we understand. What is he like behind the scenes as a manager? What's his style?
Well, he's a social guy, wants to bring clarity, structure. He's open for discussion. He wants to play attacking football, but also, as he was a number 6 or defender, he likes that his defense is well in shape. So it's important because you build a team on the defense, and from there on you try to get in goal scoring opportunities. So he can be an asset, I think, for Rangers.
Thomas, it's early in the season, isn't it? Rangers, though, 7 points behind Celtic in the league. They are still, though, in 4 competitions. What do you think his message will be to the squad for this season? Will he believe that they can still win the title?
Well, he must. It's still a long competition. 7 points looks a lot, but if you have a winning strike, suddenly it can be much different with 3 points winning and another team losing. So. And Monaco as well, he managed to get them from 9th spot to top 3, so he's capable of.
Absolutely. Thomas, well, you played for Rangers and you'll know that the fans have high expectations. How do you think that Clement will deal with that pressure? Do you expect him to deal with that?
Well, in a kind of way he's used to as well play for prizes, what's needed in Belgium with Genk and certainly as well in Bruges. You expected from media and supporters to win every week, so this will not be different. Only the crowd in the stadium will be. He needs to use them well to get it in an advantage and speak well with the players that they use the strength and the positivity of the supporters and something positive for themselves and that they not how do you say that, paralyzed sometimes when they get booed or something is going wrong. This is the main thing. Sometimes players reach the top or not with the pressure of the supporters.
Absolutely. And on that note, some players may be low on confidence after the tough start to the season. What is his man management style like? Do you think he's someone that can get the morale up in the club quickly?
Yeah, he's very as well strong in mental ways. He speaks with his players. He can trigger them, so it's important. But as well, what's needed in Rangers is to combine the physical ability of the game and the tactical and individual way. At the back, you really need to be able to stop the counters or the kick and rush because that's what other teams play against Rangers. And the other hand, in the small spaces, you need to be very technical to play out and getting goal scoring opportunities. So I remember my period with Paul Le Guen. We always tried to play good football, but at the end of the day, we always got a counter against and long balls flick on and we didn't really had the physical ability at that moment at the back, and we got some goals against. What unfortunately for Le Guen at that time, at December he got sacked, and that's something where as a Ranger manager you have to look at because every game is different. In Champions League or maybe domestic, with all respect against the smaller teams, they will try as well to be successful and then they try to with long balls to a big striker and from there on some runners. So you need to cope with that.
Yeah, a lot of pressure at Rangers. But when you look at, say, Ange Postecoglou, what he did at Celtic and now he's at Tottenham, do you think Philippe Clement will look at this as potentially a big opportunity in his career to launch himself into the big European leagues?
Well, he already did with Belgium teams and with Monaco. I think he has his own philosophy and he brings clarity. He has a good structure building up the trainings towards the games. It was always clear what to do, a few options in ball possession, through how to put pressure on the opponent and how to break the counter. So everything was always clear at my time in Genk. So this is very important for the players that they know what to do when they come on the pitch and that you have a few options to win the game.
Clear message before you go on the pitch, Southside.
I know, but I was just sitting there saying that's what I want to hear. No, that's what you want to hear, and he talked well about him, didn't he? But the clear message, how the players go in the park and how they apply themselves. And that's that, mate, and that's what sets the team off, and that's what it should be for the start. You've got to have a clear vision, you've got to have a clear structure. So, sounds like he's the man that's going to bring it.
GB.
And just to echo that as well, what Thomas Spoofel was saying there about how it gives clear instruction how to break up play when it's the counter attack and stuff like that. So again, it seems to be that his teams, he gives each player obviously instruction how they can all help each other. Ox, I think that's the thing, and how they build confidence as a team and knowing that their system will work. And I think that was the issue with Beale, that I think the players that eventually just started to realise that the system wasn't working. Whereas I think if you've got proper instruction, and you're going to need talent as well, but as Southside says, I think there's a lot of players in there. If we give them the proper instruction, we will start to see the best at them.
Right, I'm not Hodges to this, but of the players that's at the club just now, in your opinion at the moment, who's the one that's going to improve and we're going to think he wasn't as bad as we thought? Go and then have a pop. GB first.
Daniel.
Oh, come on.
I thought he was going to go for Dessers. He wasn't brave enough. What GB? Come on.
Well, think about how many goals Daniel has missed and stuff like that. I mean, there's been moments he's shown it, but I think he'll be the one that he'll most improve. If you're asking that question, then it's got to be him.
I think he scored 3 goals in 3 starts, hasn't he, or something like that in the league, or something mental like that,
hasn't he? Aye, it has.
All right, Daniel. All right, I see you. Southside.
You know who I'm going to say, don't you? Sam Lammers. He'll be the guy that he'll get a tune out of, and he'll even find him a place in the team along with Cantwell, because he's going to structure it properly. Maybe if, just because I think Lammers has got ability and he's got good close control, but you know, maybe Cifuentes might be the one where he's an Ecuadorian international, right? He plays at a decent standard. He played at a decent level at international, so we've not seen much of him. And Michael Beale described him as a box-to-box midfielder. He might be the one else that might come out and surprise us all.
You never know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Interesting to see what happens.
What's yours, Ox?
Scott Wright.
Imagine it.
If we're just talking about the players that were brought in the summer, you know, you've got Park Butland just now because he's done all right. What have you got? You've got Dijon Sterling. You've got Mike Dill, who we've not seen a lot of. The two of them are and then you've got Cifuentes in the forward players. I think we've not seen anything in the basic tools that Dessers has given us to suggest that you could make him into a player. I see it differently. With Sam Lammers, maybe I'll give you Cifuentes. But it'll be interesting, mate. Interesting to see if he improves any of the players there.
I think Lammers and Dessers have got to improve. 100%, they've got to improve. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't get in them, he'll be out the door. Christmas time, he'll be out the door.
We're not getting rid of him, Bridge. No chance.
Well, there you go. So you might sit him in the stand then, because if he's not getting a tune out of them, they good to us.
That's what might happen, but we're not getting rid of them.
Pass them back to the board.
Nobody's taking them on. And the wages they've got about 3.5 years in their contracts to go. They ain't going anywhere. Well, you keep spinning plates, we keep hearing it.
Who?
Southside. It'd be interesting to see who plays and who doesn't, and how we set up, who's the centre halves, etc. Yeah.
Aye, I think for this game coming up, I think he'll probably go with a back four and probably more or less the players that we've seen up. So I don't think there'll be any drastic changes. Maybe up front, aye, but midfield and that, I think we could probably pick most of the players. I think he'll probably start with, because I think the time he watches him, he might change it. He might change it because he might think, no, I'm having it this way. But I think you might see maybe the only change it, see him playing through the middle. Maybe on Saturday rather than where he played sort of wide. That might be a change that you might see straight away. But for the rest of them, I think most of them will probably take the park that's been playing recently.
Aye. I mean, let's be honest, we don't want to make it a personal assault on Dessers, but it was the stubbornness of Beale keep playing Dessers as his number 9 that gave him problems, if I'm being honest.
Aye, he's no. I mean, sometimes he's played a ball. I mean, he gave the ball to Matondo. It was a great pass. Let's not be kidded. A couple of times he's had a couple of flicks here or there, but on the whole, his control up front's been pretty poor. And then when he's gave the ball away, he usually gives away a free kick. You know, when he tries to win it back. So at the moment, we've not really seen much for him at all. Nothing. So he's the one that's got a big improvement to make, Ox, you know. If there is any improvement in there to make.
Aye. You know, but it'll be interesting. To see if he starts, if he's on the bench, but how the new manager sees it. If I'm being honest, GP.
Well, even as much as Southside touched on Lammers, I mean, Lammers could move into a central role. Lammers has made it clear before that he's been a striker. I mean, so you might see a total different position for Lammers going forward. Dessers, on the other hand, I mean, I think he might grow some confidence. I think he seems to be a confidence player, and that's how Beale persevered with him, hoping that it would just click. But again, some of his touches run about the box and that against Aberdeen and stuff like that. That boy at the top where he just kind of lashed at it. It's not really helped him. And I'd be amazed if the new manager can get a tune out of Dessers. I just think there's got to be so many other strikers in front of him. Roof's been on form. Daniel's coming back, and Seema's been a good striker and all. So, I mean, he's going to have a hard fight trying to push these three out the road.
Well, Clement Roof will need to improve his performance against St Mum, if I'm being honest, you know. As much as I like Clement, sometimes you've got to move on Southsider.
Aye, yeah, that you just put it down to he had a bad game, and he might. I mean, it can happen and that, but with a year left and with the injury that he's picked up in that and his availability, he's a guy that, as much as we know that he can score goals when he's fit and that, and if you're creating the chances, as this new manager says we will be doing, hopefully, then if he could stay fit, you'd expect him to score goals while he's there anyway, while he's playing on the park, Ox. You'd expect him to get a goal or two, so. But aye, he's a player that I think is not going to have a future going forward. But hopefully we'll get a tune out of him if he's fit on the park. When my manager thinks he's when the manager picks him, if he picks him, mate.
Aye. I see Dowell slightly different for you. I've not seen. I know he scored a great goal against. Was it Livingston? He scored a great goal. It seems a long time ago now, but. He's been injured, mate, and we'll be interested to see how his career goes. So maybe he could be the one that could earn a regular place and kick on and be an asset. You never know, yeah?
Aye. I said that at the start of the season. I thought Kieran Dell would be maybe like an unsung hero on your team. I thought he would get about the park and he can play further up the park. And I thought being the left-sided player, he would bring a bit of balance to your team. And I think he'd a bit of dig. And I was hoping that he would hit the ground running like Cantwell did, but he's been blighted with a bit of injury, so we've not really had a chance to see him in the team and get any sort of regular run-ups, but hopefully going forward we might see that.
Cifuentes, Fox has just told me Cifuentes isn't back to Friday, so I doubt very much he'll play at the weekend, huh?
No, it doesn't look like it.
No. That's the thing you've got to watch now when you sign players from certain parts of the world because of that. Yeah, you know what I mean? You maybe end up with maybe half a dozen games a season are not available for you, and if they're these big games, it can be important. I think it's a factor, GB.
As Ox, even that Copa America, when that kicks in sometimes as well, that can be right in the kind of middle of your season and stuff. So I always thought that when we were signing them, when you were going to be losing them for big periods, and you would put up with that if you're got obviously a top quality player. You mean, but he's not been shown that, so he's not really missed, you know. It will be interesting to see how he lets maybe how Raskin even performs now that he's got a kind of compatriot there managing him now and probably knowing his name and stuff like that. So it'll be good to see how he can kind of progress that boy's career as well.
Maybe he could be the one that could really improve a bit of confidence. If I'm being honest, Raskin, I thought he was involved with some good play at St Mirren, but generally, even since we signed him, his distribution's not been great. It's a poorness in his game, Southside. Maybe he could be the guy that could really improve.
Well, I mean, I think you're probably more likely to give the ball away more often at times because he is trying to get on the front foot and get the ball forward. Whereas you see, if you use Lundstrom, he would just get the ball, no try and play the forward pass, play the side pass or the back pass, so he keeps the ball. But his passing has to be better. There was a couple of times even early on in the European games where he had a great chance to put a player through and a decent gap to put the ball into, and unfortunately he didn't do it. He works hard. He's a wee terrier. He gets stuck in, and maybe just a positional change, Ox, to the structure of the team might help him, or he might be the one that he might want to push slightly more forward because I know he plays more forward for Belgian under 21s. So we don't know yet until the new manager starts to structure the team out into the midfield. But he could benefit from having somebody like him managing him now because he's played as a number 6, as you heard them saying earlier. He's played as a number 6 and he's played the game at a good level. So hopefully he's the type of guy that will bring these players on and give them a bit of confidence. And a good man of management, mate, and the team playing to a system when we get winning, it just improves everybody around about the team. So I'm hoping that's the sort of style that he'll bring to your club.
GB.
I'm hoping Mox for what I was reading with him being a defender as well, that he's got to be able to come in and sort the defence out a wee bit. Just the structure there, our set plays, attacking and defending would be good if we can get that kind of nailed. Because it's something that again has been lacking since probably 55, Ox, that the defence has always looked shaky, especially at set pieces and stuff like that. And we've probably not scored enough as well when we've been up the park for set pieces. So it'd be good to see him kind of implement something strong in the base, and then, like I says, he can obviously implement the attackers and the midfielders, which I think he's got an abundance to pick for, Ox. I think there's a lot of talent in that forward play. It's the defence, I think, it's got to be the hardest part for him to kind of get solid first.
To do that, I think he would need new personnel, if I'm being honest, GB.
Aye, Ox, I think so. I think it'll be definitely an area that he'll know that he'll need to have a look at in come January, because a lot of mistakes and comes for that area, and it piles on the pressure in these tight games. Like say Aberdeen, you've touched on it. We've made chances and no put them away, but then like I says, it only takes the defence to make that mistake, and it gives the other team energy. He'll be looking to make that solid, our defence solid first and foremost. And then, like I says, for what I've seen, Ox, with the attacking play, how he floods the box and stuff like that, we should be all right. I mean, he does, like I says, get forward the numbers.
If you were Philippe, Southside, in your first signing, what position would it be?
Centre half.
Centre half.
Mm-hmm. See, in Scotland, it's not that hard. I know what we're saying. Technically, if he tweaks the system, and we're not leaving the huge gaps, and we're not getting up the wings, in Scotland we don't get tested that much. We get hard games because teams sit in, but if we're going to be playing a type of football that he thinks we can play, and he thinks these players will start to play it for him, and then it'll get better when we get better players, then we should be able to beat the Dross in Scotland. You know, so it's just about winning in Scotland. And the defence now should be good enough to hold teams out because we don't get tested that often. And if we're attacking teams and creating and scoring early in games and going 1 or 2 up, that just kills it off, especially at Ibrox. So I don't think in Scotland right now we need to change millions, get hundreds of players in. I think our time we do. But I think the now going forward, because we can't change it to Christmas, we shouldn't be losing too many goals to teams in Scotland, because we should hopefully be on the front foot and testing them all the time, and no getting exposed at the back too often.
GB.
I think left-sided Ox. I think left-sided defender, whether they can play the Borna position or even the Davis position, would be good. I think that would be an area that you should look to. The right-hand side still a wee bit weak for me as well. Souttar's look no bad. Golson has his moments as well, but they're never 100%. So I don't know if it's maybe the structure that will help all that, when they've got a system that they understand, because there has been periods when Golson and Davis together have looked really good, in the same way Souttar. But if it continues the way it's been going on, Ox, he's going to have to invest in that area, definitely.
Mr. Bridge, what are you thinking? What player will we sign first? What area? He'll be right with us. Come off a mute, Bridge.
Sorry, bud. I was going to say, he's got to help the defence out. If he can do it through his coaching, he'll see what's happening, maybe get some fixes in there. But I would imagine you're going to have to buy, because with no pace, no pace in the defence at all, by the look of it. Unless he improves all that, then if he does that, he can I guess he'll be okay. But for me, please, look at himself and think about somebody bigger than him for your defence at centre half. You're looking for a really big fella, maybe a big name as well if possible. So, and obviously they've got to be able to play football, his type of football.
I think we are short in defence, but I think if everybody's fit, I think we've got creativity. It's whether we've got goals south side.
Well, obviously the one that we've bought the news is no scoring that many, and there's Danilo has just been unlucky that he took that injury to the side of his face, mate, and he might have had a wee chance of a run of games in the team. But see, to be honest, we weren't creating chances, Ox. We weren't doing very much. So this is a fresh start. So hopefully under the new system and a new style of play, if we're creating chances, then we'll soon find out if Danilo, Roof and Dessers, dare say it, Seema on the park, and our midfield are even getting in the box to go on the end of things, because we need our midfield to be scoring as well, Ox. We can't just keep laying it on to the strikers. So we've got to have that bit of creativity in our team, and I think hopefully we'll see a wee bit of pace down the flank, or one of the flanks, depending on how he plays the style, and hopefully we will be creating, Ox. But it's down to the strikers. They can't score, mate, if you're not creating for them. So hopefully that will change going forward.
Hopefully, GB, we've got Lawrence and Cantwell. We're creative players back, yeah?
Aye, Ox, I think Cantwell's looking promising, hopefully, for the weekend. Might be too soon. We'll just have to wait and see in that one. But aye, with Lawrence and Cantwell coming back into the squad, Ox, again, it's going to be good to see how the manager plays them, because it was a criticism, wasn't it? How we said that Cantwell keeps getting played out of position and stuff like that, and he's expected to do a lot in the team. It would be good to kind of, like I says, get him settled down into a new system where he is scoring goals again, because it just shows you that the confidence that brought out in him last season, with the amount of goals he was getting and stuff like that. The confidence was oozing at him, and then he looks a shadow of the player he was this season so far. So hopefully he can bring back that kind of confidence for Cantwell. And Lawrence, again, he's been coming back for injury. I fear for him a wee bit, Ox, because it just seems to be that he's picking up stuff all the time. I hope he can come back and have a run of games, because again, he was looking promising until he got that injury as well in the team. But it's how this manager fits them all in, Ox, because like you says, we've definitely got talent there. It's just getting the right system for them.
Does it require patience for us, Southside? Or are we going to be wanting to change instantly?
But change the players straight away?
Well, they'll change your style. You're not going to just be able to start on Tuesday and get all your ideas implemented.
No, it's going to take him a while. He's alluded to that in the interview. It'll take him a bit of time to get everything across to the players in time in the way that he wants it to go. We just need to understand that. But at the same time, we need to try and keep winning because we've left ourselves a bit of a gap. So there's no lot of room for error. There's been enough error gave away already. So, no, but we need to be patient and hope that the players pick up his ideas, and they should be intelligent enough if it's put across properly in a way that, in a style and the way he puts it across to the players. So they should easily be able to follow it, Ox. But we need to be patient and hope that we get the results. If we get a hiccup along the way, we'll just need to accept it because these players in this squad have done it for us repeatedly. But it will take a wee bit of time to gel. We're back to the square one again, a wee bit of all these players need to find a style and a shape now under a different manager. So, patience is a wee thing, but we've got to keep winning, Ox. We've been patient for a long time at this club, and they've failed us in the last 2 seasons since we won the league. So we just need to get behind the manager and hope that things click quite quickly for him.
GB?
Ox, I think he's definitely going to need time. I mean, we can be optimistic about this season. We are still in 4 competitions. But no matter what happens with this guy coming in, there's going to be bumps in the road with this squad. Unfortunately, they've proven that they have slip-ups and stuff like that. And the manager, as much as he's good and he's got experience, he's not a miracle worker. I mean, there's going to have to be new clientele coming into the team to help minimise these kind of small mistakes that we were having. So like I says, the fans just need to sit back, relax a wee bit, and just kind of go through the motions, I think, till we get to January. And hopefully we're still in a good place then. But as for, like, say, the European competitions and stuff like that, Ox, I mean, granted, I want to be there after Christmas and stuff like that, but if that ends up a disaster, then so be it. We've just got to give this guy time to get his ideas across the squad, because we can't go down this road again where we jump in a guy's back and we get him out the door as quick as. I'm not saying we've done that with Beale, but I'm just saying this guy's came in, he's got pedigree, but from his previous experience, the guy needs time to build a team.
I think the cup ties that are coming up quite domestically could be important, GB.
For him to show he's kind of authority and stamp.
I think you'll get a lot of the pressure, or the bit of the pressure will lift a wee bit, and he'll get a bit more time if he can be successful in the semi-final and then the final. Oh,
I mean, the League Cup box, I think certainly the manager's got the qualities there, and the squad now to be pushing on and winning that. I would be very, very disappointed a manager at his level that can't come in now with one of the biggest rivals being knocked out it, that he can't go on and win that cup. That's certainly still a must for me. And like I say, pushing on to Christmas, he's got to be still in the kind of challenge for the league, Cox, because as we've seen in many a season gone by, stranger things have happened. All it needs is the other team to have a bit of dip in form, and then you just take the onus and you go in and win your games and stuff like that. So he just has to go with the new. As his fan base just needs to back him and see what happens come December.
Southside.
I think he's got 4 games, around about 4 games I think he's got before we play the semi-final. So I think that'll give him time to assess the squad and obviously who's fit and available. And I think then maybe for that game, he might make changes if he sees fit, but players haven't performed or whatever. But they'll have to go out and perform in front of us and all. So we'll be judging them as well when they get in that part, whatever players he picks. But you'd like to think you'll get the new manager bound straight away. But I think then he'll have a wee bit more time to implicate and tweak things that he wants to within the squad by the time the semi-final comes up. And it's imperative that when our team for the across the city go out, then the thing is that you should be winning that trophy. If you get to the final with them, you're expecting us to win that trophy. So that trophy needs to be won, mate. But these players need to stand up and be counted. because I've let us down on many occasions, and it's unfortunate for the new manager that he's going to have to work with most of these players. But for the new players that's at the club that came, should be their ambition to go out and get silverware for the club and get themselves a medal. So hopefully between the mix of the two of them, they'll get the job done, and they will be picking up the silverware on the 17th of December.
Do you agree with that? Can I come in there, Oxia?
On you go.
As far as I'm concerned, the number one target is get the players fit as he thinks they should be, as possible, and go to win on Sunday and Saturday. We've got to win, and if you can do that, then there'll be quids in with the fans. I can tell you, there's a lot of fans who are looking forward to this game. It's going to be a tough game, always a tough game with the Hibs normally. So the big task in his hands there. I'm every confidence the guy will come in and get somebody to play for him, or get two of them to play for him who we think are never going to make it, so let's hope it happens.
New manager bounce.
Yes, indeed, pal.
Okay, well, is that a thing, Southside?
Well, new manager bounce. I think for most of the time you usually get a result. You might get the odd manager comes in, doesn't he? But I think when you look at it, most managers that come in, even in England and that, they usually get a result or two straight away, don't they? Players will respond because if they've got a length of contract and they haven't been like some of your players, they start to show a bit of effort. But at the end of the day, some of them will believe in anybody, regardless whether they've got a few years in their contract or not, would expect. So, but while they're here and they're representing Glasgow Rangers, mate, and there's trophies to be won and ones to be won this side of the year, then it's time that we got ourselves to Hampden and lifted that trophy.
That trophy, that could be important. How if he gets that trophy and is consistent in the league up to Christmas, GB, it's amazing what could happen.
Oh, momentum, Ox. I mean, we've seen it before. You touched on it with McLeish and stuff like that. I think the manager if he gets that cup underneath his belt, gives the players confidence as well, shows them what it can be, and the fans as well. I mean, that if we win it that day, and they'll see how the fans react to that, and it just breeds confidence, Ox, and it gives the manager something to build on. It can tell them obviously what's expected and what they can look forward to as well. Because he seems to be quite a management manager that he can go in there and instill confidence. And I think he shows that by winning things. You know what I mean? So if he goes out and grabs that trophy, then the players might put in that extra 50% that's needed to get you out of the line.
Aye, it's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the team is at Bill's last game and what the team is, say, in January, Southside there.
Aye. It'll probably take him a good wee while to implement stuff, mate. We know that. So it's something that's refreshing and looking forward to seeing him do over the months as we go forward. But he knows that we've got to be winning, and he's looking forward to the challenge, mate. And I think he's came with a plan, and I think he knows how to set a team out, and he knows how to win a league title. So for us, that's what I'm looking forward to, and just to see a style of play and a vision, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I see there was a bit of speculation about our goalkeeper and all.
What?
That somebody might want to be looking to buy him. So it just shows you that since he's come up here, he's certainly made an impression there.
I was in the English press. I mean, I don't know if that would be the case, but they'll have to get some investments from America. Birmingham City brought in Rooney as a manager, but I can't see it. I think he's a wish list. I don't think they can afford him at the moment, if I'm being honest, GB.
No, Ox, and I think, like I says, our goalkeeper currently is enjoying life at Rangers as much as the results have not been helpful to him. I think he's experienced the kind of European nights again, and I think he's actually enjoyed that kind of leadership, Ox, that he's been doing as well. I mean, he's been coming out doing the press conferences, he's been stopped to talk to fans and stuff like that. So he seems quite switched on, Ox, at the club. And in any interview I've heard him, he's always reiterated that he's here to do the best for Rangers and to win trophies. And so I can't see him. I can't see him moving on to get some success, Ox. That's what I would say.
Aye. Well, everybody's got a price, outside.
Aye, they do. Unless it was a big offer, Ox, and the board were willing to look at it. But I think he's got the bug up here as well. As GB was saying, I think he's enjoyed the European night experience. He knows every game means something. You've got to win it. There's pressure at the club to win week in, week out. Listen, it's Birmingham City. They might be a big club down there and based where they are in the Midlands, but let's be honest.
I get Birmingham, is that what you're saying?
Aye, so they're not exactly the size of Glasgow Rangers, you know, and the expectation of the club. And I just think he's enjoying it up here now, and I think he sees the size of the club when he came in, and he knows about the club now. And I don't think he'd really be tempted unless it was a big, massive offer that the board were well not to turn down, and maybe he thought, all right, but I don't see them managing to tempt him away, to be honest. I think he's well enjoying it up here.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think it's just paper talk, GB, paper talk.
They could settle it right away, Ox, the new manager, and just walk in and hand him the captaincy, you know what I mean? So, but well, he's showing the qualities of that manner. And another thing, obviously, that Southside's touching on is that he started nearly every game. Ox, I think he has started all the games, actually. And that's something he's not had a lot in his career. He's been that kind of number one, and everybody's relied on week in, week out. So I think he'll be enjoying that side of it as well, Ox.
It's been a success, GB.
He's been brilliant, Ox. He's showed his qualities in the European games as well. You know what I mean? There's a lot of the ties. I think even the PSV game, we kept the actual scoreline low for us with some of his saves he was pulling out. So, and like I say, Ox, I just think because the way our club is, and like I say, the things we do, we like say the what do you call it, the Army Day and all that. That basically, I think it ticks a lot of boxes for him. If he had any doubts about coming up here in the first place, Ox, I don't think he'd be here. I think he knew what he was walking into and what the project was and stuff like that. And again, he's reiterated consistently that it's going to take time to be successful, and it's just a bit of patience. So I think the manager will like that in him, that he's quite structured and professional, and he's got a good outlook on football.
Aye. Are you with us, Bridge?
Yes, I'm pal.
Yeah, Butler's not going anywhere, is he? Unless the price is right.
Well, I bloody hope no. Yeah, the price has got to be well right, you know. He's been don't want to stretch it too much, but I think he's been our most successful player this season. And, yeah, I think so, and I think he's well, the sky's the limit for him. You know, if he wants to stay with Rangers, they'll make him a captain, or they'll do something with him because he's quality. He's got a lot of qualities that some of your players, that outfield players, don't have. Determination is one of them. He's a very good player, very good.
I wonder if this manager, third time lucky, will get a bit of run with injuries, if I'm being honest, Southside.
Well, we've certainly got a few on the treatment table out there now, so you'd like to hope that when they come back fit, that we will only be picking up many injuries, but that all comes to, you know yourself, Ox, Daniels was, you wouldn't expect that to normally happen to you, would you? You know, and it's put him out that way. The knee knocks and thighs and strains and calf injuries, you'd hope you wouldn't be picking up so many so early in the season, but unfortunately for us, we have. But going forward, we're hoping we'll have a healthy bill of players to pick for Ox, and maybe we'll see the fruits of that as we go forward.
You know, you don't see very many players with facial injuries that boy got, and a few other Rangers players in the recent past. And it's just no right. There's something no right with the game. And Rangers players in particular, are getting these terrible facial injuries. I don't know what it means. I'd hate to say too much, but I think it's wrong. There's something not right, seriously not right. And it's been successful year after year with Rangers players getting facial injuries, bad ones.
Aye, bit of luck with injuries, GB. Yeah, obviously look at this now. Lawrence, Danilo, Cantwell, Matondo, more positive front players, yeah. We've not been able to get them in the park, really, for weeks now.
Aye, we've not been able to get them all together either, Rox. I mean, there's always been one that's been injured and that kind of setup and stuff. So, again, we've not even had the chance to see how they could all play together. So, something we need to look at. Hopefully, like I says, the doctor will be able to hang about as well. I know that was something that the previous manager brought in, but I'm hoping the doctor will be able to hang about and help the new manager and get to the kind of boat with that, whether it's a training issue or whatever. But some of the injuries Oxford just been unlucky with. I mean, Daniels was a freak one, I mean, and I'm hoping when he gets back fit that he'll go on a kind of lengthy run. Same with Cantwell as well.
Aye. We need a bit of luck. You need a bit of luck with that Southsider.
Aye, it's like you say, some of the surfaces we're playing on, and when you go into a plastic surface as well, sometimes it's no good for players that we've had to put up with in the Scottish League. But it just seems to be sometimes it's been a hamstring injury. If we use Yilmaz, he's another player that we brought in, and he's hardly had much game time in nearly a year. So it's something that needs to be looked at. Was he like that when he was over there, or was he all right? And it's just since he's came here, he keeps breaking down and picking up injury. But it's something that we're hoping that the players will know. We had a long run of it. We had Tav, we had Golson, and we had Borner for most of them playing week in, week out for long periods of time, 60 games a season. They've just came now into wear and tear. And we brought in Ben Davis and Yilmaz, and between the two of them, they've had spells out. And John Suter, didn't he had a spell out when he first came? So we recruited in the areas, and we've not had any real consistency going forward in the last probably 6 to 8 months.
There's been certain parts of the team we've been really short at certain times. GB in it. Last year was a centre back. This time it's creativity and strikers. There was times for really short of midfielders. It's always been one. We hopefully Philippe gets a bit of luck.
Aye, even in defence, Ox, there was this season there was a wee period there with Balogun having to step back in and stuff like that to cover. We were starting to look a bit shaky there as well. It just shows you, like I says, you pick up a couple of injuries in key positions, then we are kind of down to bare bones again. But it's just kind of, they've all just kind of happened at the wrong time. But like I says, they've had their kind of month to recover. Again, Roof's been kind of coming back quicker. He's been kind of managing himself and stuff like that. I know we can't rely on a guy like that, but again, it's a player that is watching what he's doing, and it's another quality player to bring off a bench or start the game, you know what I mean?
I think Roof will be thinking about his next contract at the moment, and time also is going to be in the back of his mind, if you've been honest, outside. Yeah?
Yeah, yes, what all players do. If you don't think they're going to get a contract at the club you're at, and let's be honest, in 3 years, I think he gave stats out, didn't he, in 3 seasons, how many games he'd started. It's not good enough. We know he's good when he's on the park. It's just for us that he's not on the park very often. So sometimes you've just got to cut your losses. He done well in the 55 season. He got a good return for the times that he played. But nah, it's just we've got to go and look for either new strikers in time. But certainly Roof's no one that you can take forward. But if you can get a tune at him the now up to Christmas, because he has got a good goal scoring ratio, then he might get a goal here and there. But nah, no going forward, nah.
No, I wouldn't give any of them. What sort of contract as we sit today? Next season, any contracts, but that's up to the new manager, GB.
Aye, Ox, I think, like I says, if he's looking to make the squad better, that he's going to have to use these moments where he can move players on, because, like you say, Zox, it's the same old saying, a player that's on a long contract at our club and he's on a decent wage, he's not going to be moving anywhere. He'll be digging his heels in as much as possible, whereas guys that are looking to be out of contract within the next 6 months or whatever, then they're a bit easier to move on, because they'll be getting told there's no future here for them, and it's within their interest to find a new club.
Aye, I think we all agree, yes, outside when you get any of them contracts, Lundstrom, Barisic, Wright, McLaughlin, unfortunately, Roof, unfortunately, they just, the ship sailed, didn't it?
Aye, you've got to refresh it. And then we've got a few others that have got contracts that if the manager doesn't see fit, then we'll need to look to move them on up. So it's part and parcel. I mean, you're at a football club, and at the moment we need to make it more successful. So if these players will only be gone ways, and it's time to get it rejigged and refreshed, and hopefully funds will be made available for the new manager going forward, whether it takes one transfer window or two. Hopefully there'll be money made available, and there will be once we release these players or they leave with the money that they're on. And it's just the fact that when you give them a big contract, and if they're not performing or they get to that stage of their career, I wouldn't say we need to hang them about, Ox. It's time we just made it clear at some point you'll need to move. You can't be hanging about. You're not going to have a future here, and eventually they will go and get a club. They'll not sit for that 2-year period. They will move, so sometimes you might just have to make it awkward for them if they're not willing to go and try and get a club and go into their agent.
You might never get a reputation of treating players right, but we're also not a charity, mate.
Aye, you don't want to distreat them, but at the same time, if they're not going to be part of your team going forward, they know what happens in football. If they want to keep playing, then they should go into their agent and try and get a game somewhere else, see who wants them. And if they really want to hang about, then you as well just make them go and train with the reserves or whatever, if they want to be like that. But no, we've wasted enough money, mate. We've gave out enough money to people, and they've not fulfilled the job and what we brought them into the club today. And we've took a punt in one or two, and some have been successful and some haven't. But going forward, we need to make the right decisions now, get the right players in, get players with the right mentality, and with the manager with a winning attitude, mate. He wants to get winners in his squad and into his team. So that's what I expect him today. We'll start seeing a winning mentality.
Last word for your good self, GB.
Hi, Ox. Thanks for having us on, and that. It's good to be on with Southside and Bridge. Just again, good day for the Rangers. A good appointment, good strong appointment, and hopefully the success will come as soon as possible.
Bridgeman. Southside.
Aye, happy with the appointment, mate. Looking forward to it. A wee bit excited about it, and I'm sure in time he'll be the right man for the job, and he'll build his success going forward.
I'll second that.
It was good to be on with Bridge and GB as always, and your good self.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Thanks very much, Oxford, for letting us know. Just picked it up. So thank you to you two guys for carrying me through it. Just wonderful. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So looking forward to the new manager's first day. See how we get on.
Thanks to the boys. Thanks to the technical team. Thanks for Jim, for Paisley. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. And I wonder what the topic's going to be. Take it away, Old School Blue.